We woke up to a winter wonderland today. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you saw earlier, today is a very snowy winter wonderland kind of day, which was great to wake up to, and I'm spending today creating this video on what to expect in an engineering PhD interview and also what to ask. There's a lot of content out there on what kind of questions you should expect, and there's a little bit of this and that, but there's also some really tangible tips and tricks that you can prepare for to get mentally and emotionally ready for the grad school interview session. So if you're interested in that, then keep on watching. The first piece of advice to you is to come up with a pre-game ritual. So what do I mean by that? I mean that you need to figure out what you need to do to go in there feeling really, really confident, because it's nerve-wracking. You're meeting a bunch of new people for the first time, and it's most likely in a virtual setting this year. And you need to figure out what it is to make you feel like top of your game, that you can do this, whether it's making a playlist full of motivating songs, whether it's texting that one person that's going to be able to comfort you and hype you up, and anything you need to do to get into that confident mindset is what I would consider a pre-game ritual for these grad school interviews. So be able to describe your experience, whatever it is, whether you're coming from industry or straight from undergrad. Prepare some kind of easy pitch that that's going to be able to sum up everything that you've done in the last few years. And most likely you already wrote a statement that helped you get in there, so take whatever's in that statement and put it into an elevator pitch, and be able to brag about yourself in a good way, because they're going to want to know, why should we admit you? What makes you different from everyone else that's applying to get into the program? The third thing you need to know is that you need to be prepared for either an individual or a group setting interview. You never know what's going to happen. You never know if another candidate is going to be in the room with you. And that actually happened to me personally, where there was some freak storm and they had to cancel half of the interview days. So I had to do a group interview setting with the person who actually ended up becoming my advisor. So be prepared. You might be with someone else who's also trying to get into the program, or you might be by yourself and be able to have one-on-one time with the person interviewing you. The fourth thing is to know your big why and know your big picture goals. They're going to want to know, why should we invest time and money into you by letting you into this program? And that's a very scary question. But if you think about it, you have your own reasons for going to grad school that are unique to you. Maybe it's you want to have a research career. Maybe you really want to just get more research experience before jumping into an industry you're not sure of. Or maybe you really want to be a professor. Whatever it is, know your big why and know your big picture long-term goals, because they want to know what you're going to be able to do with the PhD that you get in this program. And lastly, know why you want to go to that specific program that you're interviewing for. They obviously think that you're a great candidate enough to take some time to interview you. So show them what you also liked about their program. Is it maybe a specific training program? Maybe it's in close vicinity to a lot of places that you want to work, or that the university kind of feeds their alumni through. Tell them what you love specifically about this program, because that shows that you care, that you actually did your research, and you thought about what you could really take advantage of if you were to go here. Now that I've told you what to expect that they're going to ask you and how to prepare for that, the next thing you need to know is what to ask the advisors and what to ask the grad students that you're going to potentially meet at your interview. For the advisors, I have a few very important questions that you should ask. The number one thing you need to know is, what is their mentorship style? And you need to know whether that is going to be a good fit for you. Advisors vary. They like to be very hands-on, they like to be very hands-off, somewhere in the middle. And you need to know exactly what you need to thrive in grad school, because this is a 5-year commitment if you're doing a PhD. Ask about their mentorship style, hands-on or hands-off, and hopefully they will be honest and tell you. Okay, so the next thing you need to ask an advisor is, what do you expect out of your grad students? And that is in terms of working hours and in terms of what they produce day to day, week to week, etc. Because you want to know how many papers you're going to be expected to publish and how much data you're expected to produce every single week. And that is definitely going to vary advisor to advisor. So make sure you think about what you need from a work environment to prioritize yourself, but also make progress on your PhD. And lastly, something you should ask potential advisors is, do you support any opportunities that align with the grad student's career goals? Because some advisors maybe really want to gear their students towards academia or industry, but maybe you want to do something else. Maybe you want to do an internship in the middle of your PhD or like a co-op. And you want to know that your advisor will support that, because at the end of the day, you're getting a PhD to further your career, not necessarily your advisor's career. So ask them, do they support opportunities that align with the grad student's career? And also think about asking them whether they'll fund that, because there are conferences and programs and etc. that maybe you want to be able to go to throughout your PhD journey. Okay, so that is what to ask the advisors, but here are a few questions for the grad students if you get to interact with any of them. So I think the very first thing you need to ask the grad students is, are they happy? Are they happy in so-and-so's lab? Because 9 times out of 10, they will be honest with you. I think the grad students are more likely to be honest with you than the advisors. And a grad student's very quick to tell you like, hey, no, I'm struggling. I work too many hours, or I have too much expected of me that I don't get to have much of a personal life. And that's something that you want to know up front before committing to joining a lab. Because again, 5-year commitment. It's basically like a short-term marriage. Ask them, do they have any regrets in terms of joining their program? Because then you'll get some insight on some of the things that you wish that they had looked for, or anything they had missed about asking about this program, and they'll be able to tell you. Ask them, how is the stipend? Is it livable, especially for this area? Ask them, are they able to live by themselves? Do they need roommates? Do they need a secondary income in their household to really live a comfortable life? And this is important because you're not always going to be in lab, and being financially comfortable is super important in grad school. Lastly, ask them what they like to do for fun and entertainment in the area, because like I said before, you're not always going to be in the lab, and you're going to want to have a personal life outside of it. So you're going to want to know what's available to you. There you have it. Those are 5 things to expect in an engineering PhD interview, but also questions to ask both potential advisors and grad students. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And I'd really love to connect with you on Instagram. You can find me at the Sassy Scientist with an underscore between the and Sassy Scientist. Have a good day or night wherever you are.